board member. So let's have all of our other past and present board members please stand. And they work very hard on your behalf, so let's give them a little round of applause. Thank you all. Well, exciting times in the self-storage business. Many of us just returned from Las Vegas from the Self-Storage Association convention, and some of us traveled next to each other, didn't we? Sitting on the same airplane coming home. They had almost 2,200 people in Las Vegas this time. A lot of good energy and deal making was going on, so times are good in the self-storage industry right now. And I have a couple of announcements, as we'll usually go through, to get to today's commercial speaker and our program for today. First, membership update, and congrats to Samantha, Camille Odom, and now Courtney joining them. We're up to 265, our best ever member count, so great job, y'all. Yeah, our next challenge is to identify how many facilities do those 265 members represent, because we want to try to make sure we're representing greater than the majority of storage operators here in Georgia, and I'm pretty sure we already do. Big doings coming up next month. The Expos in Savannah at the Hyatt Hotel from the 16th to the 18th. We'll start things off with golf Sunday afternoon, then a big reception and party Sunday night. A lot of things going on, so don't forget to get signed up now. We have over 105 people already signed up. We'll have 35 vendors and 22 speakers. It's going to be the most action-packed 2.5 days, I think, in the business. I don't think they had that great a representation even in Las Vegas that we just left. The golf outing will be a lot of fun, and there's just a few slots of that left. So Curtis, let's get you signed up for that to make sure that you don't miss out on one of your favorite activities. The room count is getting pretty slim that we have left. So please go ahead and get registered for that. We'd hate for you not to have to stay at our hotel with the rest of the fun and activities. So make sure you check to the GASSA website and hit those registration buttons and get signed up right away. Next month, this month's regional meeting will be in Columbus, Georgia on the 20th, next Tuesday. And Gary Farmer, where are you back there? In that salmon orange color shirt. He will be speaking at the Columbus lunch meeting next week. And in November, we have here in Atlanta the Value of Managers focused roundtables or panel, I think, panel. So that also will be a lot of fun. And so don't forget, of course, to sign up for those. But today, I have just a couple of quick announcements. The board has been working on trying to give you a governance infrastructure for the perpetual success of GASSA. I think that's about the best way I know how to say that. So some of you may have heard us mention at past meetings that we would like to change our bylaws in upcoming. So that voting is going to start this week. So make sure you don't ignore those emails coming to you to your email. These changes to the bylaws will help us with our long-term planning. Currently, each of the board members is a one-year term. So there's a potential for the entire board to change hands from 1 year to the next. Well, that would leave you with a huge gaping hole of leadership and a lot of downtime trying to get back up to speed. We've really struggled with this as a board of directors and wanting to do the right thing to represent members and to perpetuate our success. We've really accomplished an incredible amount in these last 2 years. For those of you, thankfully many of you have been great long-term members and have seen the success and growth that we've had. It really affects our ability to plan. The new bylaws are proposing 2-year terms for each director of the board. Directors are everyone except the president, vice president, and past president. Another change with the bylaws would have to do with officer succession. Officers of the association are the past president, president, and the president-elect. Currently, the GASSA membership votes for the president and vice president at the same time because they're just serving 1-year terms. Under the new bylaws, the president-elect, or current vice president, would automatically move into the president's role and then to past president. So that person would serve a 3-year term. And that really is about what it takes, as Jasmine can tell you and all the other board members can tell you. It really takes that long to get the momentum going, get everybody up to speed, keep the governance going, and the membership growing. and keep us in the black. We have the best set of books I think GASSA has ever had. We've made huge strides. Jasmine's our treasurer. She'd be the great one to talk about that. Huge strides in the amount of capital we put aside, because someday we're going to need that capital to fight down at the legislature like we have done 4 times in the past. All 4 times we've been successful in getting the law changed the way that we wanted. So we want to keep GASSA strong and keep our ability to govern ourselves and get lobbyists and people and legislators on our side. So building up that fund is a good thing. If these changes are passed, the membership will vote for both president and president-elect for 2017. This is the only time it's going to occur that way, is when we change over. Then every year after that, they vote only for the president-elect. So you're voting for, in essence, what you might call the vice president or president-elect. They know that they will then serve as president and, of course, past president for the 3-year term. So please read more about these changes at the GASSA.org website. We really welcome your feedback on the changes, and each member of the association is going to be receiving an email code to vote on these changes this week. This is really important to us. It may seem like just a whole bunch of trivia, but it's very important to the success of this great organization. Some of us are celebrating 25 years in serving the state of Georgia storage operators, and we want to see continued strength and growth. It's really a great place to go forward from. So if you have any questions or concerns, Samantha, of course, everybody who's met Samantha Kilgore, our executive director, would be there to handle any questions that you need. Call me, call any of the board members. We'll just be happy to help you any way that we can. Any questions right now on that before I jump to our next announcements? It's pretty, we think, practical and nonsensical way to go about it. Well, today we're lucky enough to have a longtime member and past board member, current president of the Tennessee Association, as our commercial speaker today. Stacey Gorman is the Gorman Self-Storage Group of Marcus and Millichap, and she's going to come up and give you a lively commercial about Marcus and Millichap and her Gorman Self-Storage Group, and then we'll start our activity of the program today. Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
And Ann, thank you for all you've done for this association. I've known Ann since I've joined, and
that's a long time.
she really has. I've grown up watching her do so much. So, everyone, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. And okay. I just put up the Gorman Self-Storage Group. We've been so busy this year and these last couple of years that you can see my group is growing rapidly. Olga, who is here with me now, she's sitting in the back, just joined earlier this year as an agent and has spoken to many of you about different listings we've had and closings. Mike McManus is up in the Carolinas right now. He covers North and South Carolina really well and has probably spoken to many of you as well. And then we're supported by 2 gentlemen in our office doing our underwriting and marketing. And I just wanted to give you guys all a picture of who you see. Eric Jones is there. Many of you have met him. He's been here for a long time. But this is our group, and just going to give you a little information about the market, a little education, and then I'll sit down. So, as everybody knows, the market is really, really hot right now. This is just a chart for the past 12 months, what the dollar volumes across the nation, just for Marcus and Millichap, are doing in sales for self-storage. And this is my 14th year with the firm, and I've never seen a year like it. I'm sure many of you are in the same boat and can understand that. These are what our cap rates are looking like. So when you've got such aggressive cap rates like this, a lot of owners are realizing maybe now is the time to sell. So we're seeing more sales, lower cap rates, and a lot of that has to do with the more people wanting to get into this industry. It's always been a real small industry. We all know each other, and it is growing rapidly. I meet probably or talk to once a week somebody new wanting to get into the industry. There's a lot of people here now that are new, either just purchased or looking to purchase. So there's a lot of activity going on. So what I wanted to do for this 10 minutes I have is just talk to you about what my group can do, what we try to do for everybody that wants to work with us. I consider myself a consultant. I really want to help you understand your business, help you make your business more competitive, and if the time comes, help you to refinance or to sell. So I'm going to give you an example of what I've done for different owners. If you look at your rent roll, and I've taken a sample right here, and you can see from this sample when everybody's moved in, what their rental rate is, as well as what the standard rate is. And then in red, you see the difference. So there's some people that are paying what the standard rate is, but most of these people are paying below that rate. And a lot of that has to do with when they moved in. They've moved in, your rental rates have increased, but they may not have been increased. So again, this is just a sample. And as a total, we're $233 below what we could be collecting, which isn't a lot. We annualize it, we're at $2,700. But if we look at this on a value, a cap rate, now we're at $46,000. Again, I'd like to have $46,000, but that's not that big of a deal when we're looking at selling. But when you look at an entire facility, 476 units, and your difference per month is over $8,000, now you're looking at $97,000 for the year. And at a 6 cap, that's $1.6 million of value that you did not know you had, that you could be obtaining in your property. So what I like to do is always meet with owners, not when they're selling, just meet them to understand their business, give them some of the knowledge I have just by looking at so many properties, help them understand where they may be able to improve their expenses, because I noticed something that's a little out of whack with what everybody else is paying, or look at their income. When you've got 500, 600, 700 units, the software is there and it's getting better, and many of you are using it. But if you've never invited somebody from the outside to come in and do an audit or do an assessment of your property, you very well may be missing out. So just a short little information there. You can see how busy my team is right now. But mostly I want to thank everybody here at the Georgia Self-Storage Association. I have learned so much by attending these meetings from when I first started and had never been in real estate. And I've made so many friends here, and I just want to thank you all very much.
Many of us agreed that the networking here at the GASSA meetings, whether it's a regional meeting, this monthly meeting here in Atlanta, is probably one of the most valuable parts of our entire organization. So again, thank you, Stacey, for being a longtime GASSA supporter, and we're honored to have had you as our commercial speaker today. Who today is here for the first time or is a newcomer or guest? If y'all would please stand and introduce yourselves. Curtis, can we start with you?
Sure. Curtis Ball with Kendrick Capital Management. We're getting into the storage, so we need all the help we can get.
Welcome. This is Sherry, Curtis's wife.
And I'm Mike Kendrick of Kendrick Capital. So as Curtis said, we're just starting to dip our toe in the water. We've acquired, or almost acquired, our first site over in Sugarloaf, and so we'll be constructing a facility, hopefully getting into that later this year.
Excellent. We're glad y'all can make it today. And a first-timer guest or newcomer in the back?
Nitin Kashpare, just looking at the possibility of building a property.
You heard about the great things about self-storage.
I met you at Vegas.
We're glad that you made it today. Thank you. Yes, ma'am?
And I'm Emily Patch. I'm with Acclivity Financial. We do SBA and commercial loans.
Emily, glad to have you here tonight. Wilson, I thought you were standing up as a first timer. Wilson's on our board of directors. Young man?
Jeff Smith, MP Group. We're a merchant services company out of Ackport, and your guest of Drexton Close.
Thank you, Drexton, for bringing him. Young ladies?
Whitney Brennan, and I'm with Investment Property Exchange Services, IPX 1031. I'm a qualified intermediary of the tax deferred exchange.
Thank you. Cindy Marinas, I'm visiting from San Diego. I also work for IPX 1031.
Glad to have you ladies here today. Thank you.
I'm Chitra Subbarayan with Ackerman and Company. I am working with a lot of multifamily developers who have a need for self-storage, and so I have sites for self-storage.
Well, you'll be flooded today with visitors at the end of the meeting.
I have my good friend Dory Williams invited.
Dory, nice to have you here today too. Thank you all so much for visiting with us today. Did I catch everybody?
I'm Dan Landis. I'm a tax advisor, so I do financial planning and retirement.
And all of us need you, don't we, Dale? And a good succession plan, right?
Yeah.
Glad you made it today. Is that everybody else? All right, well, today's exciting program are the 4 round tables that you've discovered on your pink sheets on the table. And what's going to happen is we'll ring the bell, and there's table 1 in the back corner here, who is Stacey Maxwell from Universal Storage Group. She's our Vice President of Marketing for the company. She handles marketing. She has an M&T, marketing and training team, and she handles all of our website interaction. She'll be talking about preparing yourself to get your share this holiday season, which, as we know, can be the down or slow time of the year. Here at my table is Senior Vice President and SBA lender Lawrence Leopold from Southern States Bank, and Lawrence is going to tell y'all how cheap money is and try to help you get some of that. Thank you, Lawrence. He'll be here at number 2. At number 3 is Patrick Watson of Absolute Storage Management. And Patrick, how long have you been with Absolute?
10 years.
10 years. A wealth of information, and talking about 4 questions to ask tenants to ensure a successful move-in and process. Very important. And then at number 4, we're going to have Andrew Monroe from SpaceMax come over to table number 4, and he's going to talk about advice on collections from a manager's perspective. Now, we will have 4 turns, and we'll ring the bell at each turn. So let the games begin. Go to your assigned tables. Or sit where you are if you like. We'll bring more chairs if some of the tables get too crowded.